night is a night of protection. Did you know that the 15th of Nisan is a night of protection? Anyone knew about it? No. So let's see how you knew about it. What? But you have to say Shema. No, but
One night.
no. You're mixing now completely. You're confusing everything. Let's just wait. So the Torah tells us in Sefer Shmot, okay, in Parashat Bo, chapter 12, verse 42, the Torah tells us, Leil Shimorim hu lachem. That night is a night of protection to you. Did you hear about it? No, it's in the Torah. What does it mean a night of protection? Hazal explain. Hazal tell us in Masechet Rosh Hashanah, in page 11, folio 2, Hazal tell us something very interesting. Hazal say that Tu Nisan, what it means Tu Nisan, Leila Seder, the night of Leila Seder, it's a very special night to the Jewish people. What it means very special to the night to the Jewish people? Hazal explained that it's a night of protection. What all years around we don't have, on Leila Seder we have. Leila Seder is the night of protection to the Jewish people. And I'm going to bring sources now from the Torah, from the Nevi'im, to see that it was a night of protection all year around. But first we have to start. The Tana. Tana is a sage, Yonatan ben Oziel. Yonatan ben Oziel was a student of Hillel HaZaken, and he lived a few decades before the destruction of the Second Temple. And he said that was 3 special nights so far in the past on on Tu Nisan, on Leila Seder. And what they are? And he says that actually going to be 4 nights like this, but 3 already happened. What is it? The first night happened in a time that HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the light. The time that HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the light was on Leila Seder, to Nisan. 15 of Nisan, remember. The second time happened, it was Ben Brit Ben Abetarim. What is Brit Ben Abetarim? That's obviously everyone know, the covenant of the pot with Avraham Avinu. The third one happened that when the Jewish people came out of Mitzrayim, the redemption. Okay? Yonatan ben Oziel, not Rabbi, because he's not a rabbi. Yonatan ben Oziel, that was a sage. They don't give them a title as a rabbi because he's above a rabbi. He said like this, that there is another night to come like this that will happen when the Mashiach comes, when he redeemed us. Now, that will try to explain to you the idea. Benisan nig'alu, benisan atidim ligael. That means, in the month of Nisan, the Jewish people were redeemed. You agree with me? So the Gemara says, benisan atidim ligael. That means, the future redemption, there is a good chance that will happen again on the month of Nisan. But the Tana doesn't stop here. He continued and he said that that special night is above nature. And now we're going to bring few examples. What's happened on the 15th of Nisan? That what we call it Leila Seder. That's the Seder night. That means Pesach night. I'm going to bring few ideas that's happened. I'm actually going to bring 10 examples. That 10 miracles that happened in that night. The first one that happened, we all know that Avraham Avinu, the Midrash tells us, that when Avraham Avinu was a little boy, Nimrod, Amraphel, his second name is Amraphel, well known, the Midrash say that his advisor, he was a king, Nimrod, told them that Terah will have a child, and that child going to rebel against you. So what happened? He waited for Amtalai bat Karnavot, that's the mother of Avraham Avinu, and he waited that she's going to give birth. And then he decided to kill the baby. What happened? The servant at the same time also was fall pregnant, and she given a birth to a baby. And by mistake, they took her baby instead of Avraham Avinu, and Avraham Avinu got saved. And Nimrod HaRasha killed the baby of the servant. Follow? The second one, sorry.
So never ever knew, none of us knew that.
Well, you'll see more, there's plenty more. Let's see if we know. What happened? In Leil HaSeder, you remember Avraham Avinu gone to fight with the 4 kings. Remember the 4 kings that he had the 4 war? Why? Because they kidnapped Lot. And we explained previously why it was so important to Avraham Avinu to go and save Lot, because Lot was his nephew, remember? And Lot was looking exactly like Avraham. One of the kings that kidnapped Lot wanted to say, remember that Avraham that I threw to the fire and he saved? Now I'm going to burn him because it looks like the same. Avraham Avinu wanted to save that Hilul Hashem, and he gone and he fought with the 4 kings and he won them. That means 4 nations against 1 man with 318 men. That means 319 people to fight 4 nations. Not normal. That's another miracle that happened at that night. The third one, we all remember when Avraham Avinu gone to Mitzrayim, when he gone down to Egypt, the advisors of Pharaoh saw Sarah. Remember? And he took her to the palace. That night was, again, Pesach night. The Midrash tells us that every time that Pharaoh want to come closer to touch Sarah, HaKadosh Baruch Hu told the angel to go down, and he used to beat Pharaoh. As a matter of fact, the Rashi say and the Midrashim say that she used to say Hach, the word Hach, and the angel used to Shaya. Do you know what is a Shaya? No. Giving clap. A Varam clap. That you understand, huh? Okay. The same thing happened with, no? Which other king that she been taken, Sarah? When they gone down to Eretz Plishtim. No? Rabotai. Remember Avimelech? Avimelech. He took also Sarah. The same thing happened. He wanted to come closer to her. HaKadosh Baruch Hu sent the angel. And he used to beat him and his entire nation. Not only that, listen to that what happened in that night. That the entire nation, Avimelech and his entire nation, got constipated. Imagine, they got constipated, Avimelech and his entire nation, until he released Sarah. So that was number 4, נכון? Number 5. Makat Bechorot. Makat Bechorot was on Pesach night. The plague of the firstborn. What does it mean, the plague of the firstborn? We only think that it's happened to a human being, נכון? No. It happened also to the first animal of the Egyptian, also died. Rabotai, before I forget, next week and the following week, we're going to speak about the 10 plagues. What it means, the 10 plagues? I'm going to explain why did HaKadosh Baruch Hu brought those plagues. Daska those plagues for the next 2 weeks, just before Pesach. Okay, so number 5 was the plague of firstborn. Number 6, Hazal tell us that what's happened at that time, during the time of Tzidkiyahu Melech Yehuda, was a king that called Tzidkiyahu. Here comes Sanheriv and put the city of Jerusalem in a siege. Rabota, you know how many people he come to conquer Yerushalayim? 185,000 soldiers. Sorry, Rashek Yasot. Do you understand what is it? 185 officers. Not normal. Tzidkiyahu say, I can't fight him. But tonight, Tzidkiyahu say, God, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, tonight is Leil HaSeder. We all going to do Leil HaSeder, and we leave you to do the miracle. Because it's Leil Shimurimu Lachem, you say, no? We're going to celebrate. Hazal tell us that night, Tzidkiyahu and the entire member of Yerushalayim that was sitting underneath siege, worried, celebrated Pesach, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu told the angel, listen to my kids singing. I want you after midnight to start singing, but I want you to sing loudly. So when the angels sing loudly, those soldiers and the officer heard about him, they couldn't accept. The neshama couldn't take it, and they all died, except Sanheriv, that he ran away. Later on, his kids killed him. Another miracle. Now we're going to move to Hananiah, Mishael, Azariah. Hananiah, Mishael, Azariah been thrown to a furnace. We can't imagine what is a furnace. Baruch Hashem, and please God, we'll never find out what is it. They've been thrown out on Pesach night, and they survived it. Nothing happened to them. They came alive. That Nebuchadnezzar himself, after that, actually chose them as their advisors. He thrown them, and he made them later on, because he saw that they're holy men. Later on, we see that we all know the story of the brachot. You remember Yitzhak Avinu wanted to bless Esav. You know what day it was? When he told them to go, he said to him, go bring me 2. You remember? Shnei Azim, why 2? Hazal said that was Pesach night. Because in Pesach we bring 2 korbanot, נכון? Korban Hagiga, נכון? And Korban HaPesach. We have Korban HaPesach. So, and that night, Yitzhak Avinu wanted to bless Esav. But instead, who got the blessing? Yaakov Avinu. You remember that he got the blessing. Not long ago, just 2 weeks ago, we celebrated Purim. You remember? What's happened on Purim night that we spoke about it, when they start fasting? It was the fast. Do you remember that Esther HaMalka told Mordechai, you must fast? Hazal said that it was Pesach night, and we brought sample. Tzumu alai ve'al tuchlu ve'al tishtu. You must fast on me. But then she said, al tuchlu ve'al tishtu. If you tell a person that he's fasting, obviously he mustn't eat and he mustn't drink. Nachon? So we explain from that Esther HaMalka said, al tuchlu ve'al tishtu, you're not allowed to eat the matzah because it's a mitzvah deoraita, and to drink the 4 cups. So the miracle again that the Jewish people been saved was, again, Pesach night. Now we understand why it's called a night of a protection. Rabotai, many of us know, nachon, we open the door on Pesach night. So we all know that it's for allowed of Eliyahu Navi to come, nachon?
Yeah.
Do you agree with me? But you think that Eliyahu Navi can't come through the roof? Eliyahu Navi need us to open the door for him? Eliyahu Navi is an angel. You know why we opened the door? When I saw that Hidush, I couldn't believe. I heard, actually, I didn't see it, I heard it. I heard it from Rav Ben Zion Muchafi, Shalita. He said like this, you know what the reason behind opening the door? Eliyahu Hanavi doesn't need us to open the door. When we opening the door, we saying to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you redeemed us. We opening the door for you to redeem us again. Please, come and redeem us. That's the idea behind opening the door, not to allow Eliyahu Hanavi to come. That's one thing, because we want Eliyahu Hanavi. Because when Eliyahu Hanavi going to come, he's going to declare that Mashiach is here. Follow. Let's move on. And I'm going to bring what's so special about Leil HaSeder, Pesach night. The Torah tells us in Sefer Shmot, in Parashat Ki Tisa, in chapter 34, verse 18, Hag HaMatzot Tishmor. The Torah tells us that Hag HaMatzot, we're obligated to keep it. That means the Hag HaPesach you must keep. According to the Pshat of the Dvarim, you should make sure that you're not eating Hametz on Pesach. Nachon? To make sure that you're eating unleavened bread. Anything that can leaven up. Am I right? That has v'shalom to eat any bread that it can leaven. We're obligated to eat unleavened bread. And we call it a matzah. Okay. Come Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, I just want to explain to you, he lived in the second generation after the destruction of the second temple. And he wrote the famous book of Zohar. Everyone knows the Zohar. And he explained there, you know, it say Hag HaMatzot Tishmor. That means you should obligated to keep the Hag HaMatzot. To keep from what? I know according to the Pshat not to eat anything that can be Hametz. But he says something else. Tishmor. That you should keep yourself and be careful not to get cross and upset on Pesach night. Why? You say, why? You know why? He said, listen to that. How many brachot we say on Pesach night? Did anyone count? 17. You know how? Let's start. Nachon that we have 4 cups, each one is a bracha. Birkat HaMazon is another 4. Nachon? Inside, the main brachot in Birkat HaMazon. Nachon? How much? We have a count in here. 8. Nachon? Okay. So let's go like this. So the first bracha that we say is Borei Pri HaGefen. Then we say Birkat HaZman. Zmanim, that means that's Pesach. Then we say Shechianu. You with me? Then we say Borei Pri HaAdama on a Karpas. Nachon? 4. On a Betcha. Then we say Ga'al Israel. You remember? Then we start, when we finish the Agala, we start to eat. So we have Netilat Yadayim. Nachon? Then we have Achilat Matzah. After Achilat Matzah, what we have else? Maror? Huh? Yeah. Count it. You'll see. Yeah, but the egg, I'm just bringing what we're eating on. Yeah, definitely. But egg, you don't say she'akol. You understand? I'm just saying. After that come maror. Nachon? After that we have Birkat HaMazon, that we say another 4. Then we have Gefen, because we say Borei Pri HaGefen. Then we say the Hallel, Melech Meulal. Nachon? That's already 13. After we finish it, we have in the end, what do we say again a Gefen for? Kos Revi'it. Nachon? 17, נכון? Altogether 17. Sorry. Ask him. Huh? Ala Gefen, that's 17. That's the final bracha. We have 17 brachot. Now bear with me for 1 second. We say 17 brachot, נכון? Let's make gematria. You know what is gematria? Take the word tov. Tet is 9, נכון? Vav 6. Together 15, נכון? Bet 2. Together 17. Listen to that, what the Zohar HaKadosh said. He said that on that night, that you say 17 brachot, and if you're full of joy and happy, when you say those brachot, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will fulfill all the blessing that you want. That means he will fulfill the wishing of your heart. Because that night, it's a special night. And now I'm going to go back to Yitzhak Avinu. Yitzhak Avinu wanted to bless Esav. You know why? Many of us ask, how come that Yitzhak Avinu didn't see that Esav was a wicked? Nachon? Why did he want to bless him? I heard like this, also from Arav Ben Zion Mutzafi Shalita. He said like this. He said, Yitzhak Avinu, when he wanted to bless Esav, he realized that Esav was already become wicked. But he decided which night to bless him. Pesach night. Why? Because on Pesach night, whatever you bless, if you bless it with a full heart, all of those blessings fulfill. That means HaKadosh Baruch Hu listen to your blessing and fulfill them. So Yitzhak Avinu say, you know what? I'm going to celebrate by eating properly because Pesach was not there yet. But I keep all the mitzvot. I'll eat those 2 korbanot and I'm going to be happy. I'm going to have a decent meal, not that sages need to eat. And I will bless Esav Avinu to do tshuva. But from the Shamayim, they didn't want Esav to do tshuva, and Yaakov took it. Now we understand how important Rabotai Leila Seder. That when we sit in a Seder night, Has v'shalom, to be cross. Has v'shalom, to be upset with anyone. To be full of joy, happiness, and whatever we wish, Rabotai, the Zohar, not me, say that there is a good chance that we receive it. I would like to conclude with a story. I don't know how many of you are familiar with the Maharal Miprag. You hear the name Maharal Miprag? No? Who was the Maharal Miprag? Maharal Miprag, Harav Moreno Harav, Rabbi Yehuda Levy. Rabbi Yehuda Levy Betzalel, that's the Maharal Miprag. He created the Golem. You remember the story with the Golem? Yeah. That's the Maharal Miprag. He born 496 years ago in Poland. Okay? You know when he born? Pesach night. In Pesach night, Rabotai, listen to it carefully, 1520, in the 15th century, 1520, he saved the entire Polish Jewish community, the Maharal. What's happened? Listen to a story that's going to open our eyes. It was Pesach night. The mother was pregnant in the 9 months. In the middle, they just started the Seder. In the middle of the Seder, she had a birth pain. And the contraction got stronger and stronger. And the Maharal's father said to her, can't you keep it? She said, no, please send the kids to call the midwife. So he sent the 2 old ones to call the midwife. He said to him, but run. While they was running out of the house, they gone through the street. They didn't even take notice that was another 2 people that crossing. But they have a bag on their shoulder. And when those 2 kids ran to call the midwife, those 2 people that was walking, these 2 Gentiles, saw them, start running. The 2 boys running this way, the 2 Gentiles running this way. It was a Polish patrol police stopped these 2. Because they was thinking that they thief. I'm talking the Gentile. In the meantime, the boys managed to get to the midwife came, and the Maharal born. But what's happened that night? That the police arrested these 2 that they was thinking that they robbers. They found out the famous thing. How many of us heard about a blood libel? Remember those stories? Those 2 Gentiles killed a Christian boy. And they chopped him to pieces. And they have the jar with the blood, you remember? And it was all in a bag. And they was planning to put that young boy in a shul courtyard to blame the Jews. And what caused it? The birth of the Maharal Prague. The Maharal Prague saved the entire Polish community 1520, because he born on that night. It was Leila Seder, another miracle that not many of us know. So Rabotai, when we sit on Pesach night around the table, not for nothing, HaKadosh Baruch Hu and our sages tell us that tonight we king. Tonight, you lean to the left like a king. But beside that, we have to remember one important thing. Pesach night is a protection night. It's a night of protection. It's a night that HaKadosh Baruch Hu guard the entire Jewish nation. We don't even know many of the stories. And those 10 samples, the 11 samples that are brought, that happened, this is nothing compared to how many stories that there is about that special night. So when we sit on Pesach night around the table, we should remember that we protect it. And I would like to bless all of us that when we leave the door open, HaKadosh Baruch Hu not only protect us, He will send Eliyahu Hanavi and protect us, and He will redeem us, and then going to be the final redemption, and we'll see Mashiach Tzidkenu b'mera be'amenu, amen ken yhi ratzon.